Captain Peter Cutsey, part 4 for volcanic ash, and we're dynamic and using actual conditions. Incidentally, in the simulator, the flight plan is actual, and the weather is what we're experiencing here at 3:28 Zulu on the 1st of April. On our flight from Vancouver to Anchorage, actual conditions. We've set up a problem that we should encounter very shortly. And while we are doing that, we have a config message on the fuel. Center tank boost pumps should have been on, and we've just done that. While we're waiting for the problem to ensue, let's have just a quick boo at the QRH again. And remember that I strongly suggest that these items are done by memory, in that if the circumstance depicts, such as unreliable airspeed and other things that we talked about in parts 1, 2, and 3. So we'll see what happens. We're starting to pick up a little bit of haze. This is our position, by the way, right now. We've changed position from part 3 to part 4. In any case, we're level at 320. And we're going to experience a problem, and we will go ahead and look after it. We have master caution. Overheat detect. Engine number 1, which calls for memory items. Now, you're going to go ahead and we're actually having a surge. We suspect it is volcanic ash, as we mentioned before. So we want to get down and we want to take care of those procedures and get out of this volcanic ash. So we are in the process of losing the engine, and we will take care of the memory items of what we see right now. We can't be sure it's volcanic ash. In any case, the procedure is to fly the airplane, and pilot flying will confirm engine number 1 thrust lever, or auto throttle, confirm, disengage, disengage. And there we go, auto throttle disengage. And then you will confirm with the pilot monitoring, engine number 1 thrust lever, engine number 1 thrust lever, close. And until the light extinguishes. So we are doing that now. And incidentally, we have an IAS disagree. Also, as you can see on the captain's nav, PFD. So we'll bring thrust lever back, and until the overheat light extinguishes, and it has. We'll leave the thrust setting there, and we will descend and turn. So let's descend now, level change, and speed brakes extend, and we'll turn 180 degrees. And heading select so we can get out of this area. So we will actually bring back the thrust levers to idle. We do have a problem with engine number 1. We are turning and descending, flying the airplane. It will increase the bank. And we have an IAS disagree. So the most important thing is to get out of this volcanic ash. It's Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. And we are turning. Captain is flying and directing the first officer to move the engine start switches. Flight. Air conditioning packs. High. Engine anti-ice on, wing anti-ice on. And we're jumping around here and start the APU. Meanwhile, we'll go back and have a look at what's happening with respect to that IOS disagree. Indicated airspeed, IAS disagree, message has disappeared. And we are descending, and we'd like to descend faster. So we have the IAS disagree message again. We want to get the aircraft going down, so we're going to go and increase, have a look at our standby airspeed and the captain's airspeed and the first officer's airspeed. First officer's airspeed is 264. The standby airspeed is 279. And the captain's 279. So it appears that the first officer's is erroneous for the time being. We are descending, and hopefully we'll have a chance to take care of the non-normal that we've already experienced. The overheat light has extinguished, and the engine is operating, but number 1 engine is fluctuating. But our concern here is to make sure that we do get descending, and we have turned 180 degrees, and ATC has assigned us an altitude of flight level 200. So we've set 200, and there we are. We're going to pause. Now, call for checklists. What checklist are we going to call for? Well, we're going to call for the volcanic ash checklist. We've looked after problem as far as the engine overheat was concerned, but we had a mixture. We had an engine overheat, we've encountered volcanic ash, and we had an IAS disagree. Fly the airplane. Follow the checklist. It's a good thing we memorized that volcanic ash procedure. We wouldn't have had time to actually pull the QRH out with multiple failures. You've got to use your head. You fly the airplane first. We did. We brought thrust back. We did carry out a few items correctly with respect to the engine overheat. Auto throttle disengaged, confirm, thrust lever close until the overheat light extinguished. Well, it did. So we had partial thrust on that engine. We didn't have to continue with that. The prime concern was to get down out of the volcanic ash. We did a quick comparison between IASs and found out, you have a problem, you go to a doctor. You get a diagnosis, you go to a second doctor to get another opinion. And if they don't match, you go to a third doctor. Well, that's what we did. We did a quick look at airspeed indicators and found out that the captain and the standby were a match. So we had to use our head in this case. We're still flying the airplane, multiple failures. So the point I'm making, and we'll go into a part 5 next, I just wanted to give you a sample of what could actually happen. And in this particular case, we're flying the airplane, and once we get it organized and we're happy with the attitude and happy with thrust, we want to, of course, select 75% thrust on the operating engine because of the IES disagree, and pitch to 4 degrees above the horizon. Those are the memory items for unreliable airspeed. Now we're going to get into a yaw situation, and we'll look after that. So setting thrust as per the unreliable airspeed, and we've got a problem with the other engines, and we've got a good rate of descent, and we have declared a mayday, and let's just say we are actually out of the volcanic ash. Now, we have master caution, overheat detect. We have an overheat detector. It's returned on engine number 1. So I am unable to, with the software here, split the thrust levers. Well, there we go. All right. So the engine overheat light now has extinguished. Okay. The simulator is great, by the way, but remember, I'm by myself and trying to give you a sample of what kind of thinking that you're going to have to get involved with. Let's stop this video here and take a break, and we'll come back in part 5 and talk more about what we actually experienced in this situation. Thanks for watching.